Hello all, and today we will be seeing how to write a code in Python. Means so if you are new to programming, so let us see how you can come up with the logic to write the code in Python. So before that, we will see the topics we have covered so far. So we have covered data types, we have covered variables and variable assignment, input and output, operators, if else, while loop and infinite loop, range function, for loop, break, continue and else with loop, strings, string indexing and string functions. So we'll be using most of these topics to write today's code. Okay, so to start with, what are the steps to write a code? Okay, basically, to write a code, what you need to do is you have to understand the problem statement. So suppose you got a requirement. Okay, you need to get a clarity on what exactly the requirement is all about. So if you have some doubts about it, okay, so then you have to get it clarified. And if there is something is not clear, so if it is possible to get it clarified, of course you can get it clarified. Or otherwise you can decide on what assumptions you can decide on. Okay, I'll be doing it in this way because I am not clear what exactly is the requirement, so I'll be doing so and so things. Okay, so such kinds of assumptions also you can make. So that is the first step. You have to understand the problem statement. You have to think, you should have a clear picture of what exactly you want to write. Okay, what exactly you want to code about. Then only you can go about thinking of how you can achieve it. Okay, now once you have a clarity on what you want to do, okay, what you have to think is you have to think of the main steps to achieve it. Okay, so you have a problem. Now you have to divide it into smaller parts. Okay, so what will be the main steps to achieve it, that you have to decide. Okay, once you decide, you have decided the main steps, what you have to do it, you have to take these steps again and again and break down each of these steps. Okay, so break down each of these steps again. So you take one step, then you think, okay, how I can achieve it, so you break it down again. So like that you have to take each of these steps and break it down again. Okay, in case of smaller problem programs and all, yes, of course you just decide on the main steps and then you just have to break it down only to a one level, then you will achieve that atomic level so that you will be able to program. Okay, but suppose the problem is little complicated, or you are going to build some really big project and all, you cannot achieve this in one level. Okay, this step 2 and step 3, it cannot be achieved in one level. Okay, so you will have to do it many times, n number of times, up to say 10 times, say 5 times, it depends on the complexity of the problem. Okay, so you divide it into some steps, you break it down again. These steps that you have broken down, you repeat it again. Okay, you break it down again, you think of breaking it down again, you think of breaking it down again. So it can go up to very n levels, okay, of breaking down. Okay, but for a smaller programs and all, one level of breaking down will be enough. Otherwise you will be go on repeating these things. Okay, this 2 and 3, step 2 and 3 will be repeated again and again. Okay, once you have decide, once this is done, you have to link everything together so that you get a major flow. Okay, you can just say, okay, this is the first step I am doing, this is the second step. Like that you will have to link everything down together. And once everything is linked down, the only thing that is left is to write the code. And once you know the syntax of Python, okay, how many things can be achieved, you can easily write the code. And if you are getting stuck with somewhere, of course you can look into Python documentation and you can write the code. Okay, so that is how that are the main steps on how you will be writing the code. So now today we will see today we will see how you can develop a calculator. Okay, how to develop a calculator, that is what we are going to see today. So here the main step, first step that we here what we have decided is, what is the first step that you have to think. Okay, we got the requirement, that is calculator, we understood. Okay, calculator, we have to develop a calculator, that is a requirement, we understood. Now what? Understand the problem statement. Okay, so that is the first step that we have to achieve, right? Understand the problem statement. Okay, okay, you understood. You have to develop a calculator. But is it possible? A calculator can be of many types, right? Okay, is it possible to develop a calculator like this? Okay, is it possible for you to develop a calculator like this with the things that you have learned? It is not possible, right? We have so far learned only test based things or some limited minimum things in Python. Okay, so it is not at all possible to write develop a calculator like this. Okay, so first thing we understood, of course we will be doing a test based program. This is clear for us. Okay, now what are the main operations to be done with that we can do with this calculator? Okay, it is not given. We, our only requirement whatever we have told is we are told to develop a calculator. Okay, it is not mentioned what all operations that we have to perform. Okay, so we just assume it. That's why I told we will have to make some assumptions also sometimes. Okay, so we can just assume that okay, we'll be doing only the main operations, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Okay, now in order to perform any of these operations, what will be the input? Okay, if you want to develop some application, there will be some input and some output, that is for sure, right? So in order to perform these operations, what will be the input? It will be of course integers. And how many integers are required? Two integers are required, right? If you want to do some addition, you need at least two integers, right? So our input will be two integers. And what is the output? It will be the result of the operation. Okay, now we have understood the problem statement properly, isn't it? Yes, right. So we have understood how we are going to develop the develop the calculator, what are the assumptions we'll be making, what will be the input and what will be the output, that we are clear of now, isn't it? Yeah. So now what is the next step? The next step is think of the main steps to achieve it. How we can achieve, how we can develop this calculator. Okay, so we need to think of the main steps to achieve it. So how we can develop the calculator? We have to get the inputs, right? That is the first thing that we will have to do. Okay, we need some inputs, right? Then what? We need to get the operation. Get the operation means we need to know okay what operation we are supposed to do. Okay, so with that we need to get that operation. Okay, what operation the user want to perform, that also we need to get from the user. Then we have to perform the operation and then we have to print the result, right? So get the inputs, then get the operation, perform the operation and print the result. So these are the main steps. These are the main steps that we have to perform in order to build the calculator, isn't it? Yes. Now if we want, now we are supposed to break down these steps again. We break down these steps again to smaller steps so that we can do the coding for it, right? So first one, getting the inputs. So how what we have to get two inputs, right? We have to get two inputs, and how we can get that? We have to use the input functions to for getting the input, right? And we have to get two inputs, then convert to integers. Okay, means we know that input function will only take string, so we need to convert it to integers also, right? And assign it to two variables. So we have to use the int function to convert, and then we have to perform a variable assignment over there. So that much we are clear of now, right? So we'll just write the code for that part first. Okay, so we have to get two integers. So input underscore one, otherwise let me make it number underscore one. Always make sure that you give meaningful names, meaningful variable names. Okay, you use meaningful variable names so that it will be clear for a layman also to understand okay this is what the variable is all about. Okay, so number one we'll have to convert int, then we have to take the input enter first number, we enter first number, right? Then same thing we have to do for second number also, right? So number two enter second number, right? So we have achieved the first step, that is that we are supposed to perform, get the inputs and convert it to integer and assign it to variable. That is done. Okay, now what is the second step? Get the operation. So the next step that we were supposed to do is get the operation. We need to ask the user, okay, why you have given me the input, now what operation are you expecting me to perform over here? That we need to ask the user, right? So we have to ask the user to select for the operation. Okay, ask the user. So how we can ask the user means how, which operation that you want to perform, how we can ask the user. What we can do is we can give them some options like, okay, you can input 1 for add, 2 for subtract, 3 for multiply, 4 for divide, like that. Okay, so we can give the option to the user. Okay, you enter this 1 for add, 2 for subtract. So how can we achieve that? Okay, this, okay, we decided that we'll ask the user to enter 1 for add, 2 for subtract, and so and so. But how can we achieve that? Of course, we'll have to use the print statement over here, right? We'll have to use the print statement over here to get that to print that details onto the screen. And then what we'll do, we'll ask the user to enter the option, that user to enter the user choice. So for that we will use the input. So is it clear? Since we need to get the operation, we'll have to give some details. Okay, so you enter this, you enter this, so and so. So we print those details onto the screen, and then we'll ask the user to enter the details. Clear? Okay, now let us code for that part. So we got two numbers over here, print. So this kind of programs where we give some options to user and user select some options, and these are menus, which is like a menu. You are giving the menu options in a graphical GUI kind of thing. You have various menus that you are giving the user, right? So they can select whatever they want to do. Here also this is text based, so this is the way we get some user input. Okay, so first add, print, to, subtract, print, p, multiply, print, 4, divide. Okay, then we get the choice from the user. So choice equal to int. Of course, we have to convert it to int. Input, enter your choice. Okay, so the user will enter the choice. So we have achieved the second step also, get the operation. Okay, now what is the third step? Perform the operation. So we have got the option. Now how to perform the operation? Okay, depending on the choice of the operation. Okay, we have to perform the operation. Okay, depending on the choice that user has inputted, we have to perform the operation. So how we can do that decision? We'll be using the if else, if elif else option, right? We will be going for this if elif else option, then only we can make that choice. Okay, for this option this has to be done, for this option this has to be done. That we can do only with this decision making structure, right? So let us do that. So we got the choice. Now if choice double equal to 1, that is we are comparing over there, result equal to number number underscore 1 plus number underscore 2. Okay, elif choice double equal to 2, what we'll do? Result, what is the result? Result should be the subtraction, right? So result will be number 1 minus number 2, right? And if choice double equal to 3, okay, if it is 3 means we have to do a multiplication over there. And if the choice is equal to 4, that is division, we have to perform a division over there. We'll perform the decimal division over there. Okay, yeah. So we got all the things, we have performed the operation also. So here we are, we are getting the inputs, here we are getting the operation, here we are performing the operation. Okay, and now what is the final step? Final step is print the result. We just have to print the result. So there is nothing, actually mainly there is nothing to break it down, that main step. We just have to print it. Okay, how we can print it? We can print it using the print statement. We all know that, right? So I'll just go here, I'll print result. Okay, so let us just execute the this and see. Enter first number, I entered 5. Enter second number, I entered 6. Then it is asking me, okay, 1 is add, 2 is subtract, multiply, 4 is divide. Enter your choice. Okay, so I am giving 3. Now the result is 30. That is 5 into 6. It performed a multiplication. So 5 into 6 is 30. So we can just make the output more meaningful. Okay, we don't know the this thing. Okay, we can just give something like F. Otherwise, we'll have to perform more things over there. The final result is, and just we are attaching some message over there. Okay, yeah, that's it. So now we have entered the number, we got the operation, and we printed the result over there. Now suppose you want to repeat this till user says no. Okay, you have performed this operation, this calculator. Now suppose you want to repeat, you want to go on repeating it till the time user says no. How can it be done? If you want to go on repeating something, what we'll use? Loop. And till the time user says no. So it has to be an infinite loop, right? And we have to check if the user wants to do it again and again and again or not, right? So what we'll do? We will, let me just, what we'll do? I will do while true. I put all these things. It will come inside the while loop. Then I will ask one thing to the user. Okay, option equal input. Do you want to repeat? Repeat. Do you want to repeat? I ask the user if option dot lower, I'll just convert it into lower. So user enters yes, capital letters or small letters. It means I have there is no issue for us to check, right? I will just convert it into lower, and I will check if it is yes. Okay, if it is not yes, I will check if it is no. If it is no, what will I'll do? I'll break from the loop. Otherwise, I will continue with the loop. So let us just see this. Enter first number, I entered 5. Enter second number, I entered 2. Enter the choice, I entered 4. So its final result is 2.5. Do you want to repeat? I said no. So it just break out of the loop. Okay, so it didn't repeat the loop over there. Okay, so I'll just see the other thing also. I entered some number 4. I entered 2. Which operation I need to perform? Say I enter the choice, say 3. Do you want to repeat? Yes. So it again asks for me for the number. I entered 78 and the second number 23. Which operation I told I want to perform multiplication. It gave me the result multiplication. Then it is asking again, do you want to repeat? No. Okay, so this is how we write the logic for a problem. Okay, when you are getting a problem, how we write the logic? You have to think logically, you have to divide it into steps, and then you have to come up with the code for it. And Python code, once you decide on the steps, it is almost very easy. Okay, so like you take the input, print, perform the operation. So all those things are means to, at least to start with, it is very easy to remember the commands and everything. So what are the main steps? So how to write a code? You have to understand the problem. You have to think of the main steps, how you can achieve it. Then you have to break down the steps. Then you have to link everything, and then you have to write the code, right? So this is how you write a code. And in today's code, what all concepts did we use? We used, okay, data types, we use variable and variable assignment, input output, operators, if else elif, while loop, infinite loop, break, and continue. And made use of the string functions also. So many concepts we made use of in this today's example. Okay, so that's all for now. So keep writing, keep practicing, take questions from the internet, try to come up with a logic and try to write the code. That's how you can be a good programmer. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you all. Bye.